Welcome to the Sports Talks 4133 YouTube channel. Tonight, it's just me here talking to you guys. We have quite an interesting night of games, some notable games, a lot of stuff happening last night. We're all going to break it down right here on the YouTube channel. And we're going to start off here in the college football world. We saw the college football top 25 got released last night. And I've got a few thoughts. My biggest thought on this right now is, why is Missouri ranked? Missouri is coming off of another loss to South Carolina last week, and they were 23rd in the country, and they did not move anywhere. I don't understand why we're giving this Missouri team so much credit. I really don't, to be quite honest. I mean, they're 2-3. They're 1-2 in their last 3 games. They got 3 games ago, got blown out by 34 points against Alabama, barely beat a bad Oklahoma team, which they nearly lost, and then just lost to South Carolina. This team should not be ranked. They really shouldn't. And you're probably going, all right, then who should? Memphis has a great resume to be ranked right now, and they're not there. I mean, I'm just looking, Missouri this year, their best win this season is probably Boston College. They're not a good team. They're a middle of the pack, maybe a little bit below the pack SEC team. They're a mid-SEC team at best. I'm sorry, Brady Cook is just not the same as he was last year. Last year, this Missouri team was amazing. Not this year, though. This team is not that good. I just don't understand why this team is still being ranked when they just have not done anything. I have one other big thing I want to talk about in this top 25 is it's not a complaint more. It's actually just a really funny thing. Boise State, if the season were to end right now, Boise State would have a first-round bye, which is amazing. And they're finally starting to respect this team. This Boise State team has looked amazing all year. They're 9-1. Their only loss was by 3 points against the number 1 team in the country, where the Oregon Ducks had to kick a game-winning field goal. This Boise State team is a great squad. They really are. I mean, you look at their schedule, and you're going, all right, well, they haven't played, necessarily the hardest schedule, which is kind of true. It is. But the harder games, they win. And the games where they're supposed to blow opponents out, they do. And that's what makes this team so special, on why this team is such a good team. The next thing here in the college football world I want to talk about here, Kent State last night took on the Akron Zips and lost once again. You're probably going, why are we talking about Kent State? They are now 0-11 on the season. Yes, they continued their winless streak last year. Their winless streak last night, the entirety of the year now. I mean, it's just a funny thing to look at, really. They have one more game next Tuesday night at Buffalo, or they will be the only team in the FBS to go winless this year. And, I mean, I just think it needed to be brought up because this is actually a very historically bad team, to be honest with you. Really, I mean, this is hard to look at. I'm just looking really quick at their schedule. I mean, I'll put it up on the side right here for you. There's nothing pretty. There really isn't. Kent State, what are we doing, guys? Come on, we couldn't pull out one win this year. I mean, heck, they have one more game. We'll see. Next up here in the college football world tonight, 2 more college football games continuing tonight in Megatron. This is just the second last night of Megatron. They'll be next Tuesday night, and that's the finale of Megatron football for the season. We have Buffalo versus Eastern Michigan, but the better game tonight, actually, we have Ohio taking on Toledo. Both teams sitting at 7-3 tonight. It's going to be at 7 o'clock on ESPN2. And if you look at the MAC standings right now, it's actually quite an interesting game. Ohio right now currently tied for number 1. If they win tonight, they're tied for number 1. They have the same amount of losses as both Miami, Ohio, and Bowling Green. And Toledo's sitting right on the outside, 4-2 in their conference. Toledo's, they're going to need a few things to happen to them, starting tonight if they want a shot at to be in that conference title game. Well, they're going to have a shot. There's a path. Is it going to happen? Probably not. But it starts tonight, so just a really fun MAC game actually to look out for tonight. Because, usually you look at them and go, what does it matter? It's actually quite an underrated game tonight in the MAC conference. Let's move on now to college basketball. We'll start off last night here with the big two games that we talked about last night. First up, number 15 Marquette wins 76-58 over number 6 Purdue last night. Me and TJ were giving our picks on that one. I took Marquette, he took Purdue. I ultimately turned out being correct in that one. But it was a fun game to watch last night. It really was. At first, it actually was a really tight game. But then, when I was saying last night, once Marquette gets hot, you can't stop them. You really can't. And that's exactly what this team did last night. They shot the ball, I thought, perfectly. Played some great defense last night. All around, just got a really nice win tonight here. And to me, Marquette looks like a very underrated team. And they're still a threat in this college basketball. They're a great team. They're a great team. And second off here in the college basketball world, Villanova played Penn last night. We were talking about this one. We were saying Penn might have a chance to win this game. We thought maybe it would be a close game. Just no. Villanova wins 93-49 over Penn last night. That's the type of Villanova basketball that we thought we were going to see coming this year. But it was not like that. They were losing bad games, but getting a great win. Not a great win, but a statement win in a way. You go, hey, we're still here. We're still a good team. We still have to take it seriously. And that's exactly what they did. I know it was against Penn. It's an Ivy League school. But still, 93-49 to blow out there. But yeah, and finally, in the college basketball world tonight here, number 25, Illinois, traveling to take on number 8, Alabama tonight at 9 o'clock on the SEC Network. This is a fun game tonight. Top 25 college basketball game, Illinois finally getting the, credit they deserve. This is their first time being ranked all season. After a team that was a 3 seed in March Madness last year, they dropped out of the top 25 to start the year. I didn't really understand that, but they finally earned their respect in here. And they're going to take on an Alabama team tonight who's also coming off of a tough loss to Purdue on Friday night. So a fun game tonight there. For my prediction on that, because I'm giving you guys some picks here, I'm going to go with Alabama. Give me Alabama to take down Illinois tonight here. I just really like this Alabama team. I still think they're a great team. I know they lost to Purdue, but you look at this team, you see how they play basketball. Great offense, great defense, all around a phenomenal team. And I think Illinois is going to have a lot of problems tonight, also with that game being in Alabama. Let's move on now to the NBA tonight here. And we'll start off here. The Cavaliers dropped their first game of the season last year. They're now just 15-1 on the year. They lose 120-117 to the Boston Celtics last night. So the Cavs' run ends at 15 games. Here's my thoughts. Like I said, it was last night. This Cavaliers team, no one expected them to be even close to where they are right now at 15-0. This team just got on a great start to start up the year. Donovan Mitchell's looking amazing right now. This Cavs team is starting to connect again, and it's reminding me a lot of the 2016 Cavs right now. It really is. This Cavs team is just seeing ways and finding ways to win basketball games this year, and it's worked amazingly for them. I mean, I know I've been saying this, but Donovan Mitchell's been playing phenomenal this year for this Cavs team. And this Cavs team is going to be a threat this year. They really are. Which also kind of brings me to my next point here. What is the problem with the East this year? We knew there was some problems going on with this Eastern Conference. But now, after the conclusion, this is at 6:10. This is before the game started up tonight here. There are only 4 teams in the Eastern Conference right now that are above 500. You heard that right. 4. 4 out of the 15 teams. The Cavs, Celtics, Magic, and Knicks. In the Western Conference, the top 11 teams are above 500. That's a 7-team differential right there. What is going on with the East? And honestly, I think I have the answer. It is the Eastern Conference has so many teams this year that are just underperforming. You have teams like the Miami Heat, the Indiana Pacers, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Philadelphia 76ers. And those 4, you add those in, there's your 8 teams that are going to be above 500. But those 4 teams are just not there right now. Miami's only 1 game below 500. It's not like they're having a terrible season. The Bucks are 4 games below 500. The Sixers are 9 games below 500. The Pacers, they're also just 2 games below 500. But still, this Eastern Conference is not very good right now. Compared to the Western Conference, we're going to be honest with you. In those top 11, I think there is arguably 8 teams in that you can make an argument to be in the finals this year. Warriors, Thunder, Lakers, Nuggets, Suns, Timberwolves, Mavs, Clippers, and maybe the Grizzlies. You can make the argument. But it's crazy to see how this Eastern Conference has gotten so weak now, where you have, the Bucks, the Sixers, 2 of the top dogs in the Eastern Conference this year. They've done nothing. We can't even forget the Pacers. They were in the Eastern Conference Final last year. They deserve something. And they're just not there. The Western Conference is a way better conference right now. And here's also the other thing. The Eastern Conference, however, might have the 2 best teams in the league, but the West has so much more depth. It's honestly like the Big Ten and the SEC this year. The Big Ten might have the first and second best team in the country in Oregon and Ohio State, but the SEC's got all this depth, and you can kind of see that connection. It's really interesting. It also brings me another point here on the NBA tonight. The Sixers' big 3 is projected to be back tonight here. Embiid and Paul George. I don't even know where that came from. Embiid and George tonight. And Maxey is still a questionable player tonight, but it looks like he is going to be playing. So we're going to finally see the Sixers' big 3 going at it tonight here, which will be really fun to see from this, Sixers squad. How, they're 2-11. How are they going to, they had that team meeting 2 nights ago. You have your big 3 going to be out there tonight. Tonight shows us where this Sixers team is at. If the Sixers look terrible tonight, they're in for a long year. If they look good, all right, there's a bunch of signs. But we need to see it from them first. And we haven't saw that yet. Embiid has not been the same. Paul George just looks like he's getting old. Maxey's been hurt. It's this big 3 finally going to play their first game the other night. I'm really excited to see what happened there. And finally now in the NHL tonight here, starting off here, the Winnipeg Jets defeating the Florida Panthers 6-3 last night in a game where we thought was going to be very tight, turning out to be quite a lopsided more game. This Winnipeg Jets team, let me tell you, this team is amazing right now. If they don't win the Stanley Cup Final, that's a downfall. Let alone the Western Conference. This team, there's a bunch of great teams in the West, don't get me wrong. But how this hockey team is playing right now, they look so complete right now. The defense, they're having the best goalie in the league. The defense, playing absolutely phenomenal. The offense, finding ways to score when you feel like they cannot score. This team does everything right, and it's actually perfect. They're playing like a 99 overall video game team right now. You welcomed in the defending Stanley Cup champions, the Florida Panthers, who have looked pretty good this year, and just blew them out. And I know it's a hockey game in November, it doesn't mean much, but these statement wins that you see early in the year show you the long-term success. The second thing here, is the Penguins dynasty over? And I know they took on the Maple Leafs last night, lost 3-2 in overtime. The Tampa Bay Lightning lost 3-2 in overtime. And you're going, why are we bringing this up now? Let me tell you, I was watching this game last night, and it just doesn't look like this team looks good at all. They're 7th in the Metropolitan Division. Sidney Crosby just does not look the same as he once was. This team as a whole does not look the same as they were. This team needs to restart. They really do. I'm going to be honest. They need to restart the process. And you're going to go, he's a Flyers jersey. He's just going to bash the Penguins. But I'm serious. This Pittsburgh Penguins team looks terrible. They have 18 points on the year. Sure, it's something. But it's not good. They're going to slowly, progressively get worse and worse, in my opinion. Finally, tonight here, saying the last topic of the NHL, we have the game of the night. We have the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs at 7:30 p.m. tonight. Should be a really fun game to watch tonight. For the Maple Leafs. They've looked good this year, 11-6-2 on the year. Austin Matthews, we'll see some action from him tonight. And the Golden Knights as well, who are 11-5-2 on the year as well. Two teams that have actually been looked pretty solid this year tonight. So that's our little NHL game of the day. The question becomes, the Golden Knights, great team. They're a very physical team. So are the Maple Leafs. Who's going to be able to win this battle tonight, This game's going to come down, pucks in the corner. Who's going to be able to win those out? Who's going to give that extra 10% effort tonight? And I'm going to go with Vegas. I like them to go on the road tonight and beat this Maple Leafs team. I think this Golden Knights team is a very underrated hockey squad right now still. And people were counting them out, last year? Like a few years ago? They were like, oh, they're getting old. And then they came out and won the Stanley Cup final. This Golden Knights team is still a great team. And it'll be fun to see them play tonight. And the final final topic I want to talk about right now, I feel like this should just get addressed tonight. The big battle right now in college football, not against teams, is against College Game Day and Big Noon Kickoff. And I just feel like I want to talk about this one. What is better? College Game Day or Big Noon Kickoff? What is the best college pregame show? And I just see so many ads for Big Noon Kickoff, and I've had it. I'm giving my thoughts. College Game Day is way better. And I will, if this is a 7-game series, I'm taking College Game Day in 4. They go to more variety of places. Big Noon Kickoff goes to Ohio State almost every weekend. College Game Day has not repeated a site yet this year. There's a good chance they will with Texas A&M because they went to them week 1. There's a good shot they're going to go to them not this Saturday. The following Saturday, this Saturday will be at Ohio State. Both of them are at Ohio State this weekend. This is the only time this year College Game Day is making the trip to Ohio State. I don't understand going to the same location countless amount of times with Big Noon Kickoff. Why do we do this? And what also hates is, and Penn State fans, if you're with me, I'm not a Penn State fan. I got a Penn State football right there. Penn State fans are going to agree with me with this one. Big Noon Kickoff sucks. It's ruining college football for Penn State, especially with their whiteout game, but also other schools. The Penn State-Ohio State game, who knows how long it'll be until that's the whiteout game again. Because they're going to have it at noon, and you don't do the whiteout at noon. It's a night. The whiteout's a night game. So they have to do whatever it is, the helmet stripe or whatever it is. And it ruins it. If there was a whiteout for the Penn State-Ohio State game this year, is Penn State going to win? Maybe not. Maybe not. But you're going to go in college, and if it happens, you're going to talk about Penn State fans will talk about the 2016 win. It was a night game. It was a whiteout. It was an upset. When are we going to see this again? College Game Day doesn't affect the time. They just go there, do their great old show, and leave. It's amazing. Last weekend it was, where did they go last weekend? I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I'm trying to think where they went last weekend. I don't have it off the top of my head. But, Alabama, LSU. Look where they went. We went to Georgia, Tennessee last week. I don't know why I forgot. That game was at 7:30 at night. They didn't affect the time. They still gave Georgia their put it on the late night game. And I like that. I don't understand doing this Big Noon Kickoff show. Because the thing is, actually, when College Game Day does a noon game, which it happens sometimes, a lot of times the game, Michigan versus Ohio State, it probably won't be there next weekend, though. It kind of sucks. Because everyone's kind of already heading into the stadium, and they're usually on the field doing their picks. That's one of the best parts of College Game Day, too, is doing the picks. Lee Corso's headgear pick, Pat McAfee getting the crowd fired up, sometimes takes him out, with his iconic, give me Alabama. Big Noon Kickoff doesn't do that. They're inside the stadium, they're doing their picks. But I don't know, I feel like it needed to be talked about tonight here. So that'll wrap up our podcast, our YouTube video here tonight. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. See you later.